let's look today at a process we call urinalysis. Urinalysis. When you hear about urinalysis, it is an analysis that is being done on urine. It can either be a biochemical analysis or microbial analysis on your urine. Although it can also be just a normal check on your urine, just to say is an analysis of your urine. Urinalysis can be used to indicate problems. If you have problems with your liver, maybe for example you have a liver disease, if you have a kidney problem, such as you can either have a disease that we call kidney stones. It can also use to indicate whether you have things, something we call diabetes. Diabetes is a disease that is related to the sugar level in your blood. Now, what are the things that we look at or in urinalysis? For example, you went to a laboratory and you gave a sample of your urine. Things that a doctor or a technician in the laboratory can look at is the color of your urine. We can also look at the smell of your urine. And also another major test that can be looked at is the pH of your urine. When we say the pH, here we mean the acidity or basicity of your urine. Okay, some people say alkalinity, but it's here the same thing. Now, we can also look at the presence of proteins in urine. This can be used to indicate whether you have a disease called proteinuria and other kinds of diseases. We can also look at a substance called bilirubin. Bilirubin is a substance that is generated after the breakdown of blood cells, red blood cells, in the liver. So you can also look at bilirubin or urinobirinogen. Okay, now you can also look at a substance that's called glucose. Glucose in the blood and in the urine can also indicate whether you have a disease like diabetes. You can also check whether you have white blood cells in the urine. These can be used to indicate whether you have an infection, but most of the time can be bacterial infection, or sometimes it can be used to indicate whether you have a viral disease. Okay, just used to indicate you have an infection in your body. Now, you can also look at things that like bacteria, presence of bacteria in your urine. Bacteria, it's used to indicate that you have a bacterial infection in your system. Now, something that we should not forget about is nitrates. Nitrates can also use to indicate that you have a bacterial infection or another infection in your system. So this plus this and let's say and red blood cells also can also use to indicate that there is a problem or an infection in your system. So these These things or these tests are very important in any biochemical laboratory or microbiological laboratory setting. Now, in our next lesson, I'll be able to explain all the presence of all these things in your urine sample and what they mean, and possible diagnosis of various diseases that are related to the elevation or low or abnormal, that should say abnormal constitution of these samples in your urine. Now for today, that's just a reminder. We shall discuss more in the next lesson. Thank you so much and have a good time.